If the floodwaters rise, if the virus spreads, if the bombs go off, these men are ready. 4 Marines who know how to survive. Joel Stevens.
I was actually there on 9/11. I saw how society broke down very quickly.
Mark Puhali.
In the Marine Corps, we're taught to thrive in chaos and operate in a chaotic environment.
Mike Kozaliski.
I have a lot of ground combat experience. Definitely saw a lot of death. You never have your guard down.
And Jimmy Kimball.
You have to understand being self-reliant or you're in trouble.
Their headquarters, Forge Survival Supply. Come crisis or catastrophe. Their technique, improvisation. They know that in an emergency, high tech is high risk. Their mission, using the stuff on hand and the fighting spirit. They teach, then test their clients how to survive. Next.
Let's go, let's go, let's go!
A young couple is trained to fortify their homestead. This Easy Rider is in for a hard time.
Look around, what do you got?
A young man unleashes his warrior spirit. And weapons training takes an explosive turn.
What are we doing here? Who are these guys?
This is Travis and Kimberly, and they called me the other day and were just asking about defensive perimeters, defensive tactics, and I really liked him.
Mike and Mark are driving to meet a serious prepper couple who live in a remote corner of Colorado.
Coming out here, we can get a lay of the land, which obviously looks about the same as it's been the last 25 miles.
Well, this is definitely the plains. How much land does he have?
It's got about 40 acres.
And so it's him, his wife, kids.
4 little girls, all under the age of, I believe, 6 is what he told me.
So a fire team of toddlers.
We gotta start early.
2 people to defend this. Dude, why'd you waste my time getting me up to come up
I
here?
don't want to hear more bitching.
But both immediately see how hard it will be for the Cokers to mount a solid defense.
I'm seeing a major problem right here. There's no fence in the front.
You could just roll right down this road and turn anywhere.
That's the first thing we're gonna have to work on. My God, I'm starting to, my theory of thinking this is gonna work is falling apart. No front fence line, and his 2 damn dogs are still asleep and we just rolled up. I have to fix that.
What dogs?
Hey, look like little bumps on a log over there.
With 40 acres to protect, Kimberly and Travis Coker want to learn how to defend their daughters and their homestead in a crisis.
There may come a time in the future when I've actually literally physically have to protect them from somebody that wants to come in and take what we've got.
The Cokers fear a range of calamities, but their most pressing concern is that unrelenting drought will destroy food supplies and tear apart the fabric of society.
Yeah. I can remember being in high school every day. 3:30 rolls around and the thunderstorms rolled in.
Yep.
Every single day. And now, I mean, we're lucky if we've gotten, what, 2 storms in the last...
Yeah, as the money dries up and all of a sudden food, you know, a loaf of bread costs you $100 or something, well, then they're gonna go for the easy pickings. I don't wanna be easy pickings.
They've called in the Forge crew to help them learn how to prepare and protect themselves and their sprawling homestead.
Now, how long have y'all been prepping?
His whole life?
Me, my whole life.
Yeah? You have an adequate food supply?
If we really stretched it, you know, and emaciated ourselves, we could probably make it a year.
Do you get along with your neighbors? Do you know if your neighbors have the same mindset that you do?
I know I'm not a real social
I'm pretty
person,
social.
and so I don't know, but like one person on this street,
Is everyone armed out here? Or do you...
Oh yeah, this is Colorado, Eastern Colorado at that. Everybody's armed.
Now, how old are your all girls?
All girls.
How old?
My oldest is 6, then the next is 4, she's 2, and the baby's 1.
Right there, if nothing ever happened, there's a good reason to be prepared, is the fact that I have 4 daughters. If you don't need a fair amount of guns and ammo with 4 daughters, so that's what I'll probably shoot their first boyfriend with or chase them off with.
Sure.
Well, the prepared and the strong are going to survive.
Right.
Yeah.
They are.
Yep.
In addition to being well-provisioned and amply armed, the Cokers have created their own bug-out vehicle, which the team inspects.
So what's this? Looks like an old raggedy ass. What's this camper thing?
It's not as raggedy as it looks.
It looks like you got a lot of gear on here.
Yeah, it's actually set up pretty well.
I normally don't put my foot in my mouth, but I guess I did. You got solar on here too?
Yeah, it's solar.
It just doesn't look pretty.
Solar. It's not pretty. It's been gutted out, so it's just basically one big bed.
What can you run off this solar?
All the lights, the fan, the CB, the TV, the radio, everything runs off of it. It's set up because I've got 4 daughters and a wife, and we're pretty well set up with that on here. So it just seemed to make the most sense where we could put everybody in there, hook it behind the pickup, and get out of town.
Have you rehearsed a bug out with this?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You have?
Yeah, multiple times. I can pretty much hook onto it, and I know I don't have to spend a bunch of time putting gear into it. Everything's pretty much already in there and ready to go.
Good deal.
Travis, you got a lot of stuff.
Yeah. It's organized chaos. I actually know pretty much everything I have.
Yeah?
And we'll find something or find a deal.
Are you a closet hoarder?
No.
No?
No,
Okay.
because hoarders store junk.
Uh-huh.
And everything I've got out here, it's fence posts and stuff. It's all things I can do. I mean, I can build me a barn. I can drag one of those across my driveway if I had to.
Can you move these telephone poles?
With the truck.
She can move them without the truck.
Yeah.
We can hook him to it.
This is stuff we didn't see driving up that we could, we could use this.
Yeah, no, definitely. And if nothing else, it's decent cover.
Oh,
you know,
absolutely,
so.
yeah.
Cover, there's no cover out here.
Where's your well?
Over here.
All right, let's go take a look at it. Let's see what it
look
looks
at
like.
It is tied into regular power.
Okay, so electric.
But we have it so it will back up off the generator, and eventually we'll have it on solar as well. It's steel walled. It's tall enough to stand up.
Yeah, what do you use it for right now, other than for the water?
We just use it as our tornado shelter. I mean, if we needed to, I can take the girls and I can run and jump in it.
Yeah, they'll be bringing their boyfriends out here when Daddy's not looking.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, then that's where he'll stay, is in that hole.
But despite all the gear and the supplies, the team thinks the Cokers are being unrealistic about what it would take to secure their land.
It seems like they have a lot of good preparation with food, water, weapons, but looking around the perimeter of their house, they have jack and as far as stopping someone to roll up on their place and take it from them. And with 2 people, I don't think they're gonna win the fight at the end.
The Cokers present a complicated situation, so the crew wants to take their time and consider their options. Back at the shop, Mark meets a teenage prepper, Josh Grossman, and his mother. Josh has been prepping almost completely on his own. He's eager to get an expert's assessment of his gear.
I'm just trying to get her interested in prepping too, so that the whole family is more prepared.
We usually don't have many 14-year-olds who come into the store. You have a bug out pack and everything already?
Yeah.
Is that mom's doing or you're doing?
My doing.
How long have you been doing this?
Pretty much forever, I guess. It's just become second nature.
Since birth? He came out with a K-bar in his mouth?
Pretty much.
Yeah?
For his age, a lot of people do say, really, he's that prepared, he's got that much stuff, he's that interested, because he really does spend a lot of time and effort, physically and mentally, preparing for things.
I don't know any of my friends who are anything like me.
But why get into the survival mindset? Like, what keeps you up at night?
It's kind of a common sense issue, which is sadly lacking in today's society.
Yeah, but see, common sense sometimes is a uncommon virtue.
Josh wants Mark to check out his bug out bag.
How much does your pack weigh?
About 25 pounds, maybe 30. It's not too heavy.
Yeah, like 30, 35
Okay.
pounds. What's the longest you've hiked with this, with your pack?
5 miles.
You have. Marine Corps, we'd hike once a week.
Oh yeah?
You gotta practice hiking with the load.
Mark is particularly interested in how Josh can provide food for himself.
How much food do you have in your pack?
I have 4 basically homemade MREs, and then I have means for catching more food, so.
Fishing?
Yeah, there's fishing in here and also snaring.
Nice. Sigmund device.
Yeah.
Yeah, ponchos, good. Are you packing all your gear for your family?
If this bag can support my entire family at once, then that's good, but the more prepared they are, then the longer we can go.
Slingshot?
Yeah, I've got that in here. There's slingshot, duct tape, hand warmers.
What about shelter?
I have a tent that is stored right next to this at home, and then inside I have a tarp and a full rain suit, so.
Mark is impressed that someone so young is so well prepared.
It seems like he's got all the bases covered.
He really spends most of his time doing this. I can't count the number of times he's packed and repacked that bag.
I'd make sure I dummy cord these, tie some 550 cord around here, like with a bowline.
Okay.
Okay? And then you attach it to your belt. Because if your canteen falls off, you're out of luck. Yeah, for lack of other terminology.
Yes.
What I've done is I'll wrap duct tape around my water bottles.
Okay.
Mark knows that gear is important, but a warrior spirit is even more significant.
And maybe thinking combat mindset.
Okay.
You know, that meanness, that toughness that we're all gonna need in a survival scenario.
Yeah.
If someone comes between myself and my daughter, they're going down.
Yeah.
Period. I'd imagine you'd say the same thing with your mom and your siblings.
It's just the way it is.
Right, exactly. Exactly. That's the way it has to be.
Yeah.
Mark thinks that Josh has potential and puts him to the test with combat training. Josh Grossman is a remarkably well-prepared teenage prepper. Mark wants to build up Josh's hand-to-hand combat skills and test his warrior spirit.
We can always improve.
Yeah,
I think
always.
bug out gear, knowledge, education, it's continuous.
Yeah.
What's nice is you both have some martial arts, interpersonal violence training.
I'm a single woman and I have a family that I care about, and I never want to be a victim.
There's a time to fight. There's a time to maybe use your head, be smart, right? Be mean, maybe show a force.
Having that ability to say, I'm going to do what it takes regardless to protect myself and my family, that's the critical place that you have to get.
To help Josh get to that place, Mark puts on a demonstration of Marine Corps fighting tactics.
So we're gonna come over here to our little slam man. If you can't see, you can't fight. You can't breathe, you can't fight. Some soft targets where I would want to hit, the eyes, the bridge of the nose, putting the palm up through the nose. A punch to the throat, knife hand to the throat, hitting the solar plexus. You could hit ears to disrupt equilibrium. And then what if I tried to grab you?
Then I would grab you.
What if I, okay. I'm putting you on the spot here a little bit.
Yeah.
But if I were going to do a front choke on you.
So if you're here, I would come here and then knee you in the stomach, or come across with a ridge hand to your neck, or I could lock up your arms.
So like a basic front choke on me.
Okay.
Like if you grab me.
Okay.
Okay. I could come over.
Yes.
And do some joint. You're going to go wherever I want to go. If I have your wrist. Does he have combat mindset come out?
He does.
He does? I want to see some interpersonal violence.
Okay.
Okay? You need to get mean and you're running through the streets with your family behind you, and I'm coming after you.
Okay.
What are you going to do, Josh? Good. 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 Some nice elbows. All right, good job. Okay. I wanted him to be a little bit meaner. I wanted to hear some of the grunts and growls and Tia!
Mark understands that competition enhances a prepper's fighting spirit, so he sets up a contest between mother and son.
You're the prepper. You're getting that out to the rest of your family. Let's see Mom go to work on this this striking bag.
Okay.
I want to see you attack your son.
Hi!
Strike the bag, strike the bag. Between the two of them, I think Mom would rip my head off before Josh would. Nice! His demeanor changed when his mom began to attack him. All right, good.
Okay.
Definitely saw combat mindset. When it's necessary, it definitely comes out.
At the end of the first encounter, it seems as though Holly has won, but Josh's continual training will change that.
I would say keep it going. Definitely keep it going. It's continuous. Preparedness, interpersonal training.
Josh arrived at Ford Survival Supply looking for information about gear, but he leaves with more knowledge of the mental dimension of prepping. Meanwhile, Joel has gathered the Ford's crew in the war room to plot out a defense for the Coker's homestead.
Here's generally what we have. He's got 40 acres of property, 2 adults, 4 kids under 6.
a good cache of weapons, strong warrior mindset, independent, and raw materials.
He has a lot of telephone poles.
A lot of good obstacles.
So let's look at the other ones. 4 kids under 6.
Huge negative.
All right. Once the oldest, the 6-year-old, gets to about 8 or 10, they can probably incorporate her into the defense.
Right.
Yeah.
When it comes to weapons, he's got a pretty good arsenal.
He's got a lot of stuff.
We didn't take him
He
out
can
to the
shoot off
range.
his back porch if he wants to.
Most rednecks can.
Yeah. We asked if he really coordinated with his neighbors. Not so much. He'd rather go it alone.
The Forge team wants the Cokers to partner with neighbors in their defense, but this seems unlikely.
Well, if he's not willing to have a partnership with neighbors, how much is he going to put into this to use all these materials to his advantage?
I think he's going to use it all.
One guy doing all this and the wife taking care of 4 kids, I mean, that's a lot of manpower to put all this stuff out.
We completely agree. That's why I said initially, there's no way 2 people can defend this place.
Right.
No way. Waste of time for
One
us to
big
get
thing
another
he
there.
really has, he's got more of a warrior mindset than anybody else I've seen.
You know, I think probably the best test, so to speak, for them is to actually have you guys have them try to set up a defense and give them a set amount of time.
We figured like an hour.
Jimmy, what do you think?
I think they're on it. I mean, this guy's got a lot of work ahead of him.
We want to attack him after we build this defense a little bit.
Right.
He's got some paintball buddies who said they want to come out, and we're going to test him and run it through it.
Very cool.
What the Cokers don't know is that the team expects them to fail this test in order to learn a more important lesson.
You can look at our map. It should look very familiar to you. It's your place. If we try to defend everywhere, we're going to defend nowhere.
Nowhere.
Okay? So what we've come up with is the likely point of entry to try to get to your place is from the front. Right. So that's where we're going to concentrate our efforts. We're going to put obstacles in the front of your house using your existing materials so someone can't just turn left off the road and blow right up to your house.
Sure.
The crew concentrates their defense on the road because they believe it's the Cokers' most vulnerable spot.
We're going to call that first entry point position 1. We're going to put some telephone poles perpendicular to your driveway. Okay. So that's going to block someone. They're not going to be able to drive straight through. Sure. Then we're going to put some pallets where they, same thing, they can't just drive straight in. They have to go around some obstacles. They have to slow down. The telephone poles we're going to call position 2, and we're going to block your driveway with a vehicle.
Okay.
Now we're also going to lay some wire out.
Okay.
So it's going to slow them down or it's going to hurt their day.
Sure.
What you want is them to get off the focus of, I'm going to come to your house, and I'm going to steal your stuff, steal your kids, and they're thinking, all right, what's in my way now? That's all you're trying to get is them to stop momentarily or for a few seconds so you can get the drop on them.
Now, we're also going to put in some fighting positions, digging some quick skirmishers trenches, about 18 inches deep, 18 inches wide, where you can get under some cover and fire, okay? And we're going to have a position in front of your house. You can see how we probably need more,
Right.
okay? But this is just where we're going to start. You can easily cover this from your fighting position. So if you see a force approaching, you could be at that covered position on the truck, and then Kim, you could be in your fighting position where they wouldn't even see you.
Let's go, let's go, let's go!
Mike and Mark think the Cokers could use a real defensive test.
Get us in close!
They're going to get it. Travis and Kim Coker have hired the Forge team to teach them how to defend their homestead from an attack by marauders. Mike and Mark will show them how to fortify their property.
We're gonna put obstacles in the front of your house, okay, using your existing materials.
To simulate the stress of preparing for a real attack, the team gives Travis and Kimberly only 1 hour to prepare. Mark and Mike use this time to give the Cokers a basic lesson in defensive tactics.
Hurry up, let's go, let's go, let's go!
Each obstacle will prove to have a specific effect. Telephone poles stop vehicles. Pallets provide visual interference.
That's good.
All right, we gotta keep it moving.
Barbed wire slows attackers on foot.
Come on, we gotta hurry. Hustle, hurry. Let's go, hurry. Bring that wire with you, Kim.
These elements will impede and distract the invading force.
Give me some slack. They have a lot of stuff that people would think is just a whole bunch of junk, but that's really opportunity that they're going to be able to use to defend this place and slow down an enemy that is interested in taking their stuff. Okay, got it?
I put it a little lower, because they can run right under that.
I guess you have run.
Good barbed wire. I can see
wear
it
this
now.
cowboy hats. I'm a city slicker.
We're putting this up fast.
Across the wire.
Let it be a little dangly, you know?
Sure.
A little nasty. So when someone gets, if it touches them, it snares them.
Tangles them up.
It tangles them. Aren't you wearing your gloves, young lady?
Getting away.
Stubborn.
If there's no blood, then we're not having fun.
We ain't working, yeah, that's right.
You know what I mean?
I can't cut with the cutters. They're too floppy.
As their time runs out, the team directs the Cokers to start digging like their lives depend on it.
These aren't foxholes, these are fighting positions.
Fighting positions.
Dig like you're angry and pissed because someone's going to try to be shooting at you. The bullets are going to be going right into this dirt, or they're going to go into you. Hurry up, let's go, come on.
Time's up! All right, Mike, let's move on to our defensive scenario.
Yeah, I think we'll give them the surprise now.
Yeah.
Well, Travis, Kimberly, you guys have done a great job taking our advice and turning it into action. You met your time hack, and I think we're ready for giving you your grade. You got an A for the midterm, all right?
Midterm.
Hey, we got a little bit of a surprise for you.
A squad led by Mark will attack the Cokers with paintball guns to simulate a home invasion.
You think you can defend the place?
Yeah.
Kimberly and Travis have a 40-acre property. In an emergency, if the social order breaks down, will they be able to defend their land? They're about to find out.
These are things that we do in the Marine Corps. We teach fire and movement just like this, with paintballs. And I've done this time and time again with my Marines and run them through fire and movement training. So this was as real as it gets without firing a live bullet today.
Mark brings in paintball veterans for the attack.
You're gonna drive, we're gonna be in the back of the pickup. If we start taking rounds, we're gonna suppress wherever that fire is coming from, and we're gonna try to flank them. Get under the wire, around the wire, and let's take their asses out.
Mark expects the Cokers to lose this battle. He wants them to understand they need help defending a property of this size.
Get us in close! Looks like they got some obstacles up there. Looks like the driveway's blocked. If we start taking fire, I want you to creep up.
But Travis and Kim are determined to win.
Get us in close!
Travis and Kim are serious preppers from southeast Colorado. They believe they could protect their homestead if the social order breaks down, even from an armed gang of marauders. Mark Puhali is leading a team of expert paintballers against the Cokers to try and overrun them.
Turn to the right, turn to the right!
The initial element of the defensive strategy pays off. The attacker's vehicle is blocked, allowing the Cokers to mount a defense.
Deploy, deploy, deploy! Go, go! Fire, fire, get round range! Get on the deck, Kyle, get on the deck! Covering fire! D1, go! Go, Kyle!
The barbed wire slows the attacker's momentum. Ultimately, the superior force prevails.
Run out! Target, target! 10 o'clock, 10 o'clock!
Kim can't hold off 4 attackers on her own.
Let's take this out!
Well, guys, you got overrun.
We got beat. Didn't expect that. I thought we could get them, but you know, a little more preparation is going to happen.
What's most important, and we discussed it earlier, is that you have the mindset, that warrior mindset. And again, a solid plan violently executed is better than a perfect plan too late.
Sure.
Bottom line, you guys can't do this alone.
We'll have to do more in the way of fortifying, but I don't think bringing anybody else in is going to happen.
The biggest thing, more trigger pullers. Those girls get older, you get them behind the guns. I know you've already done some training with them. Get the neighbors, and you'll easily defend in this place.
I don't really like to rely on anybody else, so I'd rather, you know, I know I can count on her.
The team respects the Cokers, although they're concerned that they didn't accept their advice.
He really has to understand that it's going to take more than just he and his wife. I'd say he has a difference of opinion.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jerome Holman is an easy-riding prepper. He's lovingly cared for his 1986 Honda Goldwing over thousands and thousands of miles.
Nice. Nice ride.
Well, I saw stuff starting to happen back in the 70s. I started getting angry about what I was seeing. I saw our own government working against our own people.
Jerome believes that the instability in global politics could lead to widespread chaos.
If we lost the grid, I wanted to be able to say, I've got enough stuff here that I can take care of myself, and if I had a family, I'd be able to take care of them.
Jerome's come to Ford Survival Supply for an assessment of his prepping. He believes he's in good shape.
If I had to bail, and the only thing I could take was my bike, this pack here has got enough stuff in it that I could eat for a week on it.
What's that sucker weigh?
It's probably about 55 or 60 pounds.
Yeah?
Yeah.
If you had a full tank of fuel, what's the range you can get fully loaded? Question number one.
About 250 miles.
How big's the gas tank?
It's about 5 gallons.
Oh, so it's fairly small.
Yeah.
The team asks Jerome for his strategy for finding food. His plans involve a simple weapon.
Tell us about this blowgun.
This is made by Cold Steel, that you can use it for a walking stick.
That's pretty solid. What's it made of?
The same type of steel that a rifle scope is made out of.
Yeah.
Yes.
As a staff?
Yes.
Yeah. What ammo can you use with this? What do you shoot? Just a basic dart?
Yeah, these metal darts.
Like a bow and arrow?
These will leave a good wound channel, more humane killing. And inside of here I have another type of dart. It is an impact dart. You hit a squirrel with that thing, it's going to knock him out.
Really?
And you can go over there, grab him, knock him off the limb, and finish him off. Yeah.
I want to see you shoot this thing.
I do too.
Yeah?
I do too.
You're proficient with this weapon?
Enough not to hit anybody.
Okay.
Well, he's about to go down with a blow dart. All right, Jerome. Who is it that we're shooting?
Who he's shooting at?
I think somebody coming to steal his pack and his bike.
You stick it in there till it goes right past that little ring.
Is there
right
a click, or you can feel it?
You can feel it.
All right, let's see what you got.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah,
There it
pop
is.
the
Let's
cap
see
right
it.
off it.
Jerome thinks he's got everything he needs to survive on his bike. But Mike and Mark know having all your eggs in one basket is a very risky strategy. Their job is to teach him how to evade an attempt to steal his wheels. Since the 1970s, Jerome's been concerned about civil unrest, but recent events have convinced him that the end is near. He came to Ford Survival for help with his bug-out plan.
You still have some limitations with a motorcycle. It's open, you're unprotected, a stick, a tree, a roadblock, you're screwed. You gotta rehearse that bug out.
All right, Jerome, seems like you have a pretty solid plan, but something we want to improve for you is your sustainability. Right now, there's calm, peace in the world, but you are a target. Sitting on top of this big rig, you're really exposed.
They want to teach Jerome how to protect himself and his motorcycle in case things turn ugly.
I've always said that in a survival situation, you need to be fit, mean, and smart. And I think the mean guys, the tough guys, are gonna band together like a gang. Okay, they're already organized now, and like I said, they saw you. They got the drop on you, and you need to get out of here. You got a little lead time on them, but I want you to find a good location off the hardball, and I want you to camouflage your vehicle. Okay? All right, Jerome, you got 5 minutes. They're coming. Go. He seems fairly prepared. My biggest concern is that just being on a motorcycle, you can move fast, you can get through some tight spots, but that's not a crotch rocket either. I mean, he has a lot of gear on there. If he has a mechanical malfunction or if someone threw a stick through that front wheel or the rear wheel, he's done.
Since Jerome keeps his whole bug-out kit on his bike, if a raider took it, he'd have nothing.
All right, you're on the clock, you're on the clock.
All right, let's see what's going on up here. Mike's got him, put a little time constraint on him.
Let's go. All right, they're close, they're close. You can hear them.
Mark and Mike know camouflage is essential.
Let's go, hurry. Mike and Jeff are gonna take your stuff. They're gonna take it. What's the time, Mark? How much time have you got?
He's got 3 minutes.
3 minutes. If you're not covered, what else are you gonna use? What else can you use?
I'd prefer cami netting over that tarp because it's still reflective.
Look around, what do you got?
Tarp helps with rain. I mean, it does protect the bike a little bit, but I'd still rather have some cami netting.
There you go. All right. How much time?
2 minutes.
All right, 2 minutes, hurry, what else you got? If they see you, they're gonna come and take everything you've got. Your life and everything you own is on that vehicle.
1:30.
Minute and 30, this is an improvement, a minute 30, hurry, everything you got.
1 minute.
All right, 1 minute. There you go, break down that. Excellent, keep it going, hurry, time.
45 seconds.
45 seconds. Time.
30 seconds.
All right, 30 seconds. You got 15 more. Let me know 15.
$15 seconds.
All right, they're coming around the bend. What are you gonna do with your stuff? Where are you gonna go? They're coming around the bend.
10 seconds.
The decisions you just made are gonna determine the rest of your life. They're either gonna find you and kill you and take all your stuff, or they're gonna keep going.
Look at the tarp. I mean, we're camouflaged okay, and this is the first time he's done this. He didn't come here today knowing he was gonna do this. I think he did a good job. So not a bad cami job for the first time.
The importance of camouflage is only one of the things Mike and Mark will teach Jerome today. Their primary goal is to keep him safe.
What we've got here is your standard issue military Kevlar vest, and inside, plates. Now, it doesn't matter what size, what type of ammunition, it's a matter if there are explosions going off around you. If someone's actually targeting you, your vital area is still protected. You can take a shot to the arm, you can take a shot to the leg, and you can still continue. But this right here in a combat environment on this as your bug out vehicle is crucial. We think that's one of the pieces that's really missing from...
And something on your noggin.
Yeah.
Now this is going to be a little bit heavier.
You get your shoulder and neck protector. Come across there. There you go.
Feels like wearing that.
Yeah?
Road warrior.
All right, good.
Jerome speeds away with his newfound knowledge and gear.
You know, the way I saw Jerome being self-reliant, he's given up a lot in life. I don't think he said he was married, doesn't have a girlfriend, a lot of lonely nights.
Well, maybe he didn't give it up. Maybe he just doesn't want it. This
Yeah.
is that Jerome roams alone. That's maybe how he likes to roll.
But he does have a blowgun.
He does have a blowgun.
The team hears many different doomsday scenarios from their customers. Increasingly, they're hearing about the electromagnetic pulse, or EMP. Some preppers believe that a single nuclear weapon detonated miles above the United States would create an electromagnetic pulse spanning the continent, threatening every electronic system in the country. Ron McFerrin works in information security and wants to see what he can do to protect himself and his family.
My concern has definitely grown as the years have gone by. Of course, I have a family now, so I want to protect them and be able to provide for them in case something bad happens.
You got a lot of equipment here.
Yeah, I do.
How long have you been thinking about this? Are you been preparing for a while for something like this?
Yeah, it's been a little while.
What's your background, Ron?
I'm a systems administrator for the Air Force, and I was just wondering if you guys had any means to be able to build a Faraday cage to protect this stuff.
A Faraday cage is designed to insulate electronics from any electrical disruption.
Mike is the designer, and so...
Mr. Engineer himself.
So he says.
Well, the concept is very simple. You have a metal cage, and you make sure it completely encased, and then make sure the electronics are on the inside, not touching the metal, and then you ground it.
I just don't think it's going to work, though.
The principle is, you know, that your electronics cased in that metal shell, all that electricity is going to hit it and dissipate around the perimeter, then it's going to go to the ground, like Mike was saying.
Okay.
Joel the boss is skeptical about Mike's low-tech approach and puts his money where his mouth is.
I'm betting Mike 20 bucks that there's no chance.
Well, hey, let's go outside and knock this out.
Okay, sounds good.
Mike takes up Joel's bet, and with materials on hand and his background in engineering, the team begins to construct the cage.
I had heard of Faraday cages just having an engineering degree, but never really cared when I took the test in college. Now it's actually going to be fun to build one and test it out.
The team uses simple materials, including wire mesh, rubber padding, and plywood to construct the cage.
We'll start to put the floor in.
Yeah.
Here we've got some basic rubber matting. We'll put 3 screws in underneath the rubber. Because I don't want any chance of the electromagnetic pulse getting to the electronics.
Yeah, otherwise Mark won't be able to watch the Super Bowl.
A Faraday cage works by using conductive material to redistribute external electronic charges to protect the content of a cage's interior.
You guys sure are making our customer do a lot of work.
Well, he's got to go home and build one of these, remember?
Yeah. This is all to protect Mark's toaster oven.
The boss is skeptical.
Joel's standing around like a blister as usual.
I just don't think this is going to work.
Why don't you leave, cynical?
You know, I'm paying you guys every day, so gotta make sure you guys are doing something.
Hold that and stand still. All right, pick it up like this.
Hold this and stand still. Nice.
If we wrap it right around here, all the way around, it's one solid piece and it's touching this because we have to have it with the top and the bottom.
Okay. Mark, after this, I'm gonna let you get in here and test this.
Here, move your foot.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
Can you go all the way around the end? Pick it up.
Well, we can't because we have to open it, remember?
Too many Chiefs, not enough Indians.
Mike thinks he's the only one who's mechanically inclined.
There we go.
All right, and what we're gonna run is 14 gauge copper wire to a grounding rod. And that ensures that when that electromagnetic pulse hits this cage, it's transferred through the wire and into the ground, protecting your electronic devices.
So you say.
So I say. Let's test it.
To test the cage and settle the bet, they need to see if an electrical charge will penetrate the box. The team decides if it blocks radio waves, it'll block other electrical charges.
We'll put in the radio, and if it loses its signal, then we know it's working.
Favorite station, Joel?
So hungry for Mexican food.
All right, let's put it in and see what happens.
All right.
the Forge team is building a DIY Faraday cage for their customer, Ron McFerrin. Ron's looking for a way to protect his sensitive computer files from disruption by an EMP attack. Joel doesn't think the DIY cage is going to work.
We'll put in the radio, and if it loses its signal, then we know it's working. All right, let's put it in and see what happens.
All right.
Now the moment of truth. Will Joel win his bet?
That's disrupting something
Already. Close it.
It's completely gone now.
And the radio goes dead.
It's working.
I'm really surprised. I didn't think it was going to work.
All right.
Awesome. Good job, guys.
Mike has won the bet. Since the cage blocked a radio signal, it can also block other waves.
The whole idea is that if you're prepared for the absolute worst thing to happen, then you're prepared for anything else that can happen.
Even firearm experts like the team at Forge take refresher courses to keep up with the weaponry available to preppers.
All right, we're gonna go out today. We're gonna see our buddy Andy Bell. We're gonna talk about simple weapon systems so we can make sure that we're outfitting our clients with the right weapon systems, right ammunition for their survival situation.
Okay, I can go.
Cool, let's get in, let's get out.
To get this information, our crew goes to Andy Bell, a trusted advisor in the subject of firearms.
What really got me into gear was 9/11. I think that really hit everybody really hard, and then the series of events that have followed after that.
Andy Bell knows the nuances of all the rounds, all the types of weapons.
We've got an AR-15 DPMS, SASS here.
All the bells and whistles.
All the bells and whistles.
Andy's collection of weapons includes 3 basic systems the crew recommends for preppers: a handgun, a long rifle, and a shotgun. And he also has more exotic fare.
Bushmaster BA-50 50 cal rifle.
Yeah, I have not shot a 50 since Marine Corps.
You know, these are basic firearms, gets you an idea of where to start your survival and your prepping plan and a direction to go in. Not every gun is right for every person.
So tell me, what is the one weapon system for someone who's trying to become prepared that they should get if they don't have anything and they're starting from scratch?
I would say a 9mm handgun.
Okay.
About the lowest recoil you can have, ease of magazine change, you know, jam clearing. If you're not an experienced shooter towards a survival standpoint, you want to be able to put a lot of rounds down range to keep heads down.
To evaluate any weapon system, the Forge team test fires it.
I like it.
The team believes that for a rifle, dependability is essential.
What one rifle should someone start out with that you'd recommend?
I'd recommend a bolt-action rifle platform of any caliber. They don't fail.
Okay.
They work every time. For your standard stuff, this is a heavy hitter in an affordable platform that anybody can obtain. Where automatic weapons can sometimes fail, a bolt-action rifle always functions.
You got it.
Would you like to test it out?
Absolutely.
Wait. Let a real cowboy shoot it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cowboy for lack of band.
Nice work.
12-gauge shotgun is absolutely essential to any prepper's package. For all-out versatility, keeping in tune with the prepper mentality and mindset, the 12-gauge.
Okay.
Let's get realistic. You can kill anything with this. You can
Big
kill
fan.
a deer, you can kill an elk, you can kill anything under 100 yards with a 12-gauge shotgun.
So this is one of the most intimidating sounds someone can hear.
Speaking with Andy, going over the different systems, the different types of rounds, helps us to really work with our clients to make sure that they have the applicable loads, they have the applicable weapon systems. And when they're really looking to become prepared, we can better advise them.
All right, fellas, enough of this talking. Let's get to some shooting.
Let's do it.
All right, guys, up on the firing line. Make ready. Now!